Today is Monday, January 23rd, and we are recapping Sunday, January 22nd. My name is James.
And I'm Greg.
And we are from your Gate of Life worship team, and this is your Gate of Life recap.
We are more than conquerors through Christ. You have...
Such a rockin' service today with Ren Collective just like leading our woo. So that was pretty sweet. And we're talking about the light of God. Light of Jesus. So yeah, it'll be a good day today.
So today's first reading was from Isaiah, talking about people that have walked into darkness have now seen the light. Mm-hmm. Those that have seen the light will re-enter it even brighter than what it is. Nations have been multiplied in the joy of this light that we are finding. The one true light is Jesus, given to us from our Father God.
Right.
Being able to express how we feel, about the coming of Jesus, his walk through his life, which leads us through ours, teaching us the proper way to live with him.
Yes. Yeah. And then the next reading is from Psalm, and it continues on with the idea of light and Jesus being our stronghold, and with Jesus, whom shall I fear? And then it also goes on to continue about the expectations of us being that way, and then praising him, and that our hearts are longing for us to come to Jesus because he is our salvation. And so when our earthly minds or our earthly wants and needs try and steer us away, our hearts and our souls and that longing for that relationship will draw us back.
1 Corinthians, talking about the cross is foolishness for those who are perishing. But to us who are being saved, it is the power of God.
Verbatim.
Strong statement in a short reading.
If you are perishing, if you are one that is falling away from God, the cross does look foolish to you. It is foolishness in your life. But those who are being saved, the ones who believe in the power of the cross, it is a great, great power for us. And it is our light in our darkness. Mm-hmm. So that's super duper cool. That is Neato Burrito, if you will. Burritos of Neatos. Matthew chapter 4, 12 through 23. This continues on with Jesus being the light, and that light is represented as the people who are lost in darkness, who are kind of suffering without light. All of a sudden, light is going to dawn, and that light is most definitely Jesus. And while he is traveling along the coastlines, he runs across two brothers who are fishing. And he calls out to them and basically says, come be fisher of men if you come with me. And this is interesting because fishing was their passion, and we'll get into this in the sermon. And just like the power of their willingness to be like, I don't know you, you're brand new, but something about you says that you are going places. So fly fishing, hello Jesus.
Then as they're walking along, he grabs two more brothers, and they leave their dad on the boat to finish mending the nets that they were mending at the time.
Yep. So children's message today.
Pastor Anjanette asked all the kids, do you know what a one-hit wonder is? Mm-hmm. They weren't at all sure about what she was talking about. And then she asked all the parents, in the service, do you know what a one-hit wonder is? And a lot of people shook their heads. And Pastor Anjanette mentioned the group Timba 3. And the name of the song was, The Future is Bright, You're Gonna Have to Wear Shades. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and then she had a lamp here, lit up. She took the shade off the lamp, and it was really bright. So kind of referencing that you got to wear shades when the light is bright. She also went on to say that the light is Jesus.
That's right.
And he brings a greater beacon of light than what most people think, just because there's a sun or a lamp or a flash or whatever. He's going to have a great light for us to go to when it is our time.
The sermon later goes on. Pastor Anjanette talks about various lights and various passions, so to speak, the passions that people have. And she talks about finding that niche, finding that calling, finding that thing that raises you from normalcy. Is that a good word? Yeah. It lifts you up into the limelight. She talked about a young girl who's, when they're hungry, her father would literally go out and probably kill a rabbit or a squirrel or something and then bring it back. That's what they'd eat. And one day, Hollywood had discovered this young lady and said, why don't you try and be in this movie? And this young girl ended up being Debbie Reynolds.
who we all know is Carrie Fisher's mom.
And who we all know who Carrie Fisher is as Princess Leia Organa from Star Wars. So quite a legacy being lifted into that limelight and that life. And, before that, it was just this life that she always knew. And that reflects back on the gospel reading today about just this life we always knew, and then getting kind of like that lucky break. And that lucky break is Jesus Christ. We live in darkness, and as the scriptures said, the dawn is coming, the light is coming, and it will lift us out, and we'll know about it, and we'll feel it. Pastor and Jeanette also talked about, just like I said before, just our passions and our wants and the things that we like to do, that we spend a lot of time doing. So for myself, being a rugby coach and a rugby player, I spend a lot of time when I'm not at church on a rugby field, either coaching or playing myself, and just the idea of that fills my cup. And for the disciples, what they were doing filled their cup just as much as it was a job and brought them, steady income and the means to survive. They also love to fish. And then for Jesus to come say, drop everything you like, your passions and stuff, and come follow me, that's pretty incredible. So think about that. Think about stuff that you like to do, stuff that fill your cup, and what that would feel like. What would lead you to want to leave that and follow you. And that's what Jesus fills us with, that type of hope, that type of love.
God is best at filling God's promises for us. He knows what we need at the time that we need it. It may take a long time, asking for these prayers for help and everything like that. But in His time, things will be better for us. Right now, it's our time here to do what we need to do. So our first reading next week will be from Micah chapter 6, verses 1 through 8.
Our second reading will be from 1 Corinthians chapter 1, 18 through 31. Our gospel for next week will be Matthew with chapter 5, verses 1 through 12. Now, go be disciples of Christ. Always look for that light in our darkest times, because it is there, and it is dawning, and it is coming. And always be salty, my friends. We'll see you next week. Bye.
We are more than conquerors through Christ.
If you like this video, check out our YouTube page at Gate of Life, where we post videos every single Monday for the Sunday prior. And you can check us out at the Bethel Lutheran Facebook page on Facebook. All right, see you next week. Bye.